Thank you for your time. Today, we'll cover some concepts with which you're already familiar. Specifically, we'll talk about segmenting your prospects and clients. The value for you today is that we'll add a new dimension. We'll talk about suitability to planning based on your prospects and clients' attitudes or psychographic profile. Why should you embrace the concept of suitability? Undoubtedly, you'd like to take a quantum leap forward in your business. To achieve this in today's compliance-crazed world, you'll need a smaller book that consists of ideal clients. But what makes an ideal client? We've all had wealthy clients who are painful to deal with. Ideal clients are not only wealthy, they're also a pleasure to work with. For example, they return your calls promptly. What might you expect to achieve with an enhanced book of ideal clients? You'll earn more in less time and have greater personal freedom. The question is, how can you get from where you are to where you want to be? Let's look at some concepts. Not everyone is suited to comprehensive planning. It's a false assumption that all wealthy prospects and clients should have comprehensive plans. Generally speaking, the personal qualities required to accumulate wealth are consistent with people who are suited to planning. But today, a lot of wealth isn't earned, it's inherited. How can you identify appropriate life planning candidates? In our industry, the tendency is to segment prospects and clients into groups, such as A through E, based on wealth. But wealth should not be the sole criterion when identifying life planning candidates. Suitability to planning is equally as important. You want to work with A and B candidates who are wealthy and who will embrace the life planning process. Once you've segmented clients based on wealth, you also need to screen them based on suitability. This is the purpose of the Ideal Planning Candidate software. Let's go to the marketing page on the visionsystemscorp.com website. The PDF file explains the concept behind the Ideal Planning Candidate software and acts as a how-to manual. There's also a topic on interpreting a candidate's psychographic grade. The software itself can be downloaded free from the website. Let's look at the Is Life Planning for Me survey that candidates complete. As you can see, there are 9 statements. Candidates enter their responses and return the survey to you. We've opened the Ideal Planning Candidate software. To add a candidate, click the Add button. Enter the candidate's name. Next, double-click on the Statement Response column and enter the candidate's responses. Finally, populate the table to see the candidate's scores. They're compared with the results from a national survey. Average scores are in the middle column and provide no meaningful insight. The low and high boundary scores for the average range are from the national survey and are displayed in the gray columns. Low scores are in the below average column on the left. A score in this column indicates that at least 84% of the population would score higher. High scores are in the above average column on the right. A score in this column indicates that at least 84% of the population would score lower. Let's look at Bill's responses. As you can see in the results column, he scored above average for accountability, participation, and learning. What do these attitudes mean? Accountability says the results that I get in life are up to me. Candidates with a high average or above average score are interested in anything that will help them achieve their desired results. If planning will help, it's worth doing. By comparison, candidates with a low score believe that ultimately fate or luck will deal them the hand that they get. Therefore, why bother to plan? Participation is about the active involvement in the management of money. Candidates with a high average or above average score are reasonably well organized. It's fairly easy for them to provide you with the data that you'll need to create a plan. By comparison, candidates with a low score use a shoebox to organize their finances. Completing a data questionnaire will be painful for them. Learning is about acting on what's learned. It's pointless to do a life plan unless action is taken. As you can see, Bill has above average scores for all three attitudes. He's an ideal planning candidate. Let's look at his wife, Sue. Her scores are average. Let's look at the aggregate scores. For a couple, the software uses the higher score for each candidate. Why? As an example, Bill might have an above average accountability score and initiate the life planning process. However, Sue might have the better participation score. In short, although Bill initiates the process, you'll work with Sue when gathering data through the questionnaire. Recently, a VisionWorks user sent an email with the following background. One of his best clients sent him a referral. The couple, who are in their mid-50s, have good incomes. The advisor met with the prospects and got along with them quite well. They seem very enthusiastic about life planning. Let's look at their scores, which the advisor sent us. We've called this couple Jack and Jill. As you can see, as a couple, their aggregate accountability and participation scores are quite low. They don't appear to be good life planning candidates. However, there's an important consideration. Jack and Jill were referrals from one of the advisor's best clients. His expectation is that they'll receive the same level of attention and service that he received. That's why he made the referral. How would you resolve this dilemma? If you click the Print Preview button, you can print the results of the survey. Our suggestion was that the advisor meet with Jack and Jill and show them the results. He should place particular emphasis on their participation score. The advisor could then offer the prospects a choice. To choose the life planning process, they'd need to make a commitment to complete the data questionnaire thoroughly and return it promptly. Alternatively, they might prefer a less comprehensive planning process. In short, the ideal planning candidate software is as much about insights as it is about rejecting life planning candidates. Why not use the scores to be upfront with prospects and clients and let them choose between your life planning service or a lighter planning process? Once you've identified ideal planning candidates, we suggest that you show them the concept of life planning. When you use the word planning, the image in most people's minds is not pleasant. Their perception is that planning is about budgeting, debt management, income taxes, portfolios, and insurance. Because we all think in terms of mental images, you need to replace their existing unpleasant image with a new and engaging one. We suggest that you have a brief webinar with them that focuses on creating their vision of life. Literally, they need to see the life planning concept. You can take them on a tour by using webinar software and VisionWorks. Also, you can introduce them to the myvisionoflife.ca website. Remember, these are planning candidates that have good accountability and participation scores. The odds are high that they'll be self-starters and do the front end of the planning work for themselves. What's your vision of life? If you continue to do what you're doing, will you achieve it? If so, could you act more effectively? Could you earn more in less time and have greater personal freedom? The following are our suggested actions. Use VisionWorks to create your life plan. Choose a C client to act as a willing victim while you polish your VisionWorks skills. Identify the top 20% of your prospects and clients. Send them "Is life planning for me?" Screen the top 20% of your prospects and clients for ideal planning candidates. Book a webinar demo session with them and show them the concept of life planning. Thank you for your time. We trust that this video has been thought-provoking.